To the Report by Pub Podcast, and we've made it to part 3, the final part of our 3-part tournament recap. So on part 1 we did all the group games. On part 2 we did the knockout stages, so the quarterfinals and the semi-finals, and we're now here for the medal rounds, the gold medal and the bronze medal game. 2 incredible advertisements for our sport. 2 incredible games, both going to overtime, both getting golden goals from Boston Fleet players. So it's Boston Fleet, because depending on when this episode gets published, if the Boston Fleet haven't won the World Cup this year, at least they can say 2 of their players scored golden goals in Milano. Anyway, so yeah, obviously the Muller for Switzerland and Keller for USA. So brilliant, 2 amazing games. You know, just it's what we wanted. It's what we wanted. Because obviously I think going into the medal games, I think a lot of people have looked at the bronze medal match and thought, ooh, Switzerland and Sweden. Who think is going to win that one? I bet a lot of bookmakers will probably rub their hands because like, did it again. We've done it again. We've taken all these mugs' money again! Yeah, because obviously on paper you think Sweden's got is the better firepower. They were unbeaten in Group B. Their only loss was obviously to the US in the semis. But Switzerland found a way through. Switzerland found a way through in the dying moments of that overtime. Switzerland found a way through. Now obviously our game, the gold medal game, it just took us back to the stress of last year's World Cup finals when all those games were just going to overtime and you just didn't know who was going to get that goal that was end it. It was just, it was stressful. Yeah, obviously 2 thrilling games, and I am not going to forget these in a hurry. They've been absolutely brilliant, and I'm really looking forward to getting to recap them, guys. With you all, it's going to be great fun. Yeah, it's got 2 games to do now, so it's going to be easier than the last 2 parts. So we'll start with the bronze medal game, which saw Sweden take on Switzerland. We're going to do that one first, and then we will come to the gold medal game, which saw Canada and the USA go head to head once again. It's a terrible time. Yeah. Only once in Olympic history has it not been USA and Canada, and that of course was back in 2006. The last time these games took place in Italy. Yeah, so you can imagine when we got ourselves our opponent, me personally was like, because we know our history, and taking on Sweden was like, oh, here we go. So we're really looking forward to do that with you guys. And it's our last recap for the tournament. It's been fun, it's been stressful, been exhausting, been tongue-tying, but we're almost there. 2 more to go, and then we're done. So, tell you what, let's all go and take a quick pause. Let's go and get ourselves ready, and then we'll come back. We will start the recaps, and of course, like I said, bronze medal match first, and then we'll do the gold medal match. Okay? So, let's all go take a quick break, and I'll see you very soon. So here we go, looking back on the bronze medal match. What a thrilling game that was. I mean, both these games which we're going to cover today, they were both brilliant to watch. Both of them, huge advertisements for our sport and for women's hockey as a whole. But wow. Because let's face it, going into the bronze medal game, I would not blame anybody for thinking, yeah, Sweden's going to win this one easily, aren't they? Yeah, it's going to be Sparrow, right? Sparrow's got bronze, right? Yeah? Surely, Sparrow, right? Right? Well, that ended up not being the case. And at the end of the day, it was Switzerland who got the overtime win. Interesting how both these games end up being 2-1 overtime results. Interesting. Yeah, it was absolutely a thrilling game to watch. You got to remember, guys. This was a rematch of Sochi. This matchup we saw 12 years ago in Sochi. Now, this takes us back, doesn't it? Sorry, me and Eddie are still traumatized by Sochi. Not just because I obviously was in the middle of GCSE coursework, because obviously Sochi was when I graduated. And I was doing my GCSEs during Sochi. I was year 11 in Sochi, so I was literally a few months away from graduation. But for me, Lady Sochi's still quite traumatic because of how that gold medal game went down. But honestly, yeah, so this was a rematch of the Sochi bronze medal game, at which, of course, Switzerland won that one as well. So, yeah. So, who else? Alina Muller is the hero as her overtime goal earned Switzerland bronze over Sweden. So Alina Muller has done it again. After scoring the game-winning goal in the bronze medal match at the Sochi 2014 Winter Games against the same opponent, the Boston fleet forward delivered once again at Milano-Cortina, this time netting the decisive overtime winner to secure bronze for Switzerland. It was a tightly contested matchup throughout. Each team scored in the second period, but as the game wound down, I should say, in that third period, neither side could find the go-ahead goal. Switzerland had to survive a late Swedish power play to force the 10-minute 3-on-3 overtime. It took nearly the entire extra frame, but in the final minute, Muller, who has been immense for the Swiss all tournament, lifted the puck over the shoulder of Swedish netminder Ebba Svensson to seal the victory. With that goal, Muller now sits fourth all-time Olympic women's hockey goal scoring, recording her 16th career tally at the Winter Games. The result is heartbreak for Sweden, which entered the medal round after winning Group B and carried one of the tournament's most potent offense. However, the Swedes were unable to solve Swiss goaltender Andrea Brandeli late in the game, who delivered another remarkable performance on the Olympic stage. So for Switzerland, that bronze medal marks their first Olympic ice hockey medal in 12 years. Their previous podium finish also coming in Sochi. And this is huge because obviously Switzerland, I'm going to bring up Switzerland's record the last few times, and I'll also do Sweden's as well just to compare the two here, just to give you an overall picture. Okay, so right now, we've already did it plenty of times to try and put Pluto back in his place in his basket, but I don't know. Lady and me really hope Switzerland can get on the podium again in Denmark, because that would then really shut him up. Yeah, so even though after that medal games, Pluto's still like, we'll see what happens. I'm like, seriously, boy, you've just watched them won bronze. He's like, well. So I was literally like, just back of your basket. Dear oh dear. Right, let's do Sweden first, then we'll come on to Switzerland. So, for Sweden, right, if we can do the comparison. Okay, so for Sweden, they have been in every single Olympics going all the way back to 1998, and they haven't been in a medal game since 2014. They finished fifth in their first place in 1998, And then in 2002 and 2006, both medaled. In 2002 it was bronze. In 2006 it was silver. Then in Vancouver they finished 4th. But then since then, Sweden's come on a downward spiral. They came 7th in Pyeongchang and 8th in Beijing. So they didn't even get out of the quarterfinals in those two. So for Sweden, this is a huge turnaround to now finally, you know, get back on the in the medal game. So close to the podium. You know, and hopefully they can build on that, especially in the World Championships, because they haven't had much success in the World Championships either. So hopefully this is a huge turn corner. But for Switzerland, just a comparison, right? For Switzerland, you know, could you argue red letter day moment for them, maybe? But if you look at have a look at Switzerland's record, guys, and you'll see they've only won a medal twice. 2014, and then again in 2026. And in fact, in the last games in Beijing, they did get to the bronze medal match but lost to Finland. So this is the second consecutive time now that Switzerland has gone to a medal match. And they've only been in the competition since 2006. So they first debuted in 2006, but they came 7th. They finished 5th in Vancouver. They obviously won bronze in Sochi, were 5th in Pyeongchang, and then obviously missed out on the bronze in Beijing. So yeah, so for Switzerland, a huge moment for them. You know, their second medal in only twice they've only won a medal. That's brilliant for them. So hopefully they can build on that, because in the last few World Championships, they have done actually quite well. You know, coming in 5th place. You know, so if you go back to 2021, Switzerland's either been 4th or 5th in World Championships. So I think Switzerland is kind of on the verge of a breakthrough, and hopefully this tournament is that breakthrough, that moment where they build on this and, you know, put themselves in a conversation to potentially be that medal contender in the future. So I really hope that Switzerland can find out. I mean, it was such a thrilling to watch. I mean, you did wonder, oh, is this going to go beyond the overtime period? Are we going to have that great shootout? But you know, when she got that goal, it was just like, wow, you just couldn't believe it. And I think it was really impressive how Switzerland literally went, you know, full on shoulder to shoulder with Sparia. I mean, you gotta remember the last time these two sides met was in that 5th place match in the last World Championships, where Switzerland really took it to Sweden and actually beat Sweden. So, is it a shocking result that Switzerland beat Sweden? No, because we know Switzerland have done it in the past, whether that be Worlds or Olympics. So, but I think given how well Sweden have played in the groups and how they got so close yet so far on the knockout stages, you can't blame us for thinking, oh, it's a heartbreak for Sweden because they came so close and yet they are so far. But I really hope that Switzerland can learn from and Sweden. I hope they can both learn this. Switzerland, I hope they build on this, but I hope for Sweden they can learn huge lessons from this, because, you know, and just please don't cut the funding, guys. Come on. Sweden should be one of those top tier teams, but I do fear the funding issues could have been reason for past games, but come on, guys, just give them support they need. Yeah, but what a great guy was, you know. And that literally, guys, was your starter. Okay? That literally was like your starter. Whether your appetite up for the main course. And it's just like already, wow. Well, it was just brilliant to watch, no, just brilliant. No. But of course, congratulations to Switzerland on winning the bronze medal. Well done to you guys. Your first medal since 2014. What a good result that was for Switzerland. Alright then, here we go. Your final recap of the tournament is that gold medal between the US and Canada. Let me tell you guys, It was stressful to watch this game. It always is. Whenever Canada and USA always go head to head, it's always stressful to watch. I remember last year when me and Lady before won the World Championships final, the two of us were literally just like, you know, sort of, you know, literally tense because of the stress it was, and that also did go to overtime. But no, Plur has kind of said that this has given him flashbacks to last year's World Cup finals, because those were also a stress factor. So he kind of felt it was like that. And oh my god, I kind of wish there was a camera going on when that goal went in, just so you could have got the reactions of me, Plur, and Lady, because obviously, you know, when that goal went in, the three of us literally just jumped out of my chair. Obviously, we didn't know whether we were celebrating or literally just like having a cardiac arrest, because there was a lot of oh my god, there was a lot of that. There was a lot of that because it was just so stressful. Because oh my god, you did for a moment there, and I would not have blamed anybody. You thought, oh my god, have Canada stolen this medal? You know, have Canada gone and stolen this medal? You know, because the way the two teams have played so far throughout this tournament, you think this is the USA's to lose. This is the USA's to lose. Canada have not been playing well. They have not been firing all cylinders. They've got their captain is basically playing with an injury. This really on paper feels like this is the USA's to lose. And it looked like they were going to lose it. I mean, it was just... Right. Let me tell you, that game was so fast-paced. It was so action-packed. It was like every time a goal happened, it was like... It was like out of nowhere. That's how fast the game went. That's how fast the action was. It was like, what? All the goals that took you by surprise. Particularly that work Canada got, because that was a short-handed goal. And I think there was a little bit of tension about, oh, was that going to hold? But, yeah. But no, this was a really, really stressful game to watch. I'm not going to dare say it matches Pyeongchang, because that was, oh my god, that was another level. That was, another level. And the good news for us was that we would not need a shootout. We would for the gold medal game. If it had gone, if the OT had gone past the allotted time, so if we got to the end of the OT time, if we still had no winner, we would have just gone again and again and again. So it'd basically be like what you see in the World Cup playoffs, where you play until either a goal gets scored or someone dies. I know, it's a bit dramatic, but but that's the way I always see when it comes to playoff hockey with those stupid OT rules. It's always like you're deliberately doing it so somebody goes and kills themselves. No, anyway. Especially how the PHLs have always had quite a fair share of triple and quadruple overtime. So anyway, but yeah, but it just gave a flashback to last year's World Cup finals. It really did. Right, so let's get to it. So Nintendo's winner gives USA 2026 Olympic Winter Games gold medal in overtime frigate. United States Canada rivalry was renewed for the 7th time in Olympic Winter Games gold medal match, and it was Boston Fleet captain Megan Keller who delivered the golden goal in a dramatic 3-on-3 overtime finish. Keller decked past Vancouver Golden Eyes defender Claire Thompson. Who's proofreading these? Who's proofreading these? I'm going to start that paragraph again. Who's proofreading these? I'm going to start that again. I'm going to go back to the paragraph. I'm going to start that again. I'm starting that again. So the United States Canada rivalry was renewed for the 7th time in the Olympic Winter Games gold medal matchup, and it was Boston Fleet captain Megan Keller who delivered the decisive winner in a dramatic 3-on-3 overtime finish. Keller decked past Vancouver Golden Eyes defender Claire Thompson and slid the puck under the blocker of Le Victoire de Montreal netminder Amélie Desbiens to seal the victory. Canada held the lead for much of the game, holding a 1-0 lead after New York Sirens forward Kristen O'Neill opened the scoring short-handed early in the second period. That advantage stood until the closing minutes of regulation, when Seattle Toronto captain and USA captain Harry Knight redirected a point shot from Leah Edwards up and over Desbiens to force the overtime. Playing in her final Olympic game, Knight's game time goal sets a new US Olympic career record for both goals on 15 and points on 33. Keller, meanwhile, finished the gold medal game with a goal and assist, tying teammate Caroline Harvey for the tournament scoring lead at Milano-Cortina. The Americans allowed just 2 goals the entire tournament, with the gold medal game marking their closest contest. Toronto sector forward Dara Watts finished as Canada's leading point scorer. With the win, the United States captured its 3rd Olympic gold medal in women's ice hockey, adding to their titles in 1998 and of course 2018, while Canada earned silver for just the 3rd time. Yeah. But oh, what a thrilling it was to watch. Just such a thrilling game. And I think, like how Pyeongchang was, which was the last time the US won gold, it was just another brilliant advertisement for our sport and for the women's game as a whole. It was just so incredible. It was stressful to watch. And I think that's one of those games where if you get opportunity to watch it back, you might feel less stressful about it. But at the time, literally living in the moment, it was a stressful game to watch. Especially how that short-handed goal took us all by surprise. And Canada then just played defense pretty much for the rest of the game. And you did have to wonder, oh my god, have Canada literally stolen that medal from us? You know, because I think if Canada had gone and won that game, I think it would have been very hard for me to not only do the nightcap that we did following that game, but then to basically do any post-Olympic hockey show comment afterwards, because I would be saying, well, Canada don't really deserve that medal because of this and that, and the Canadians would come back at me saying, oh, well, you're a sore loser. But you've got to admit, Canada, you guys did not look like the Canada that we're used to seeing on the world stage. You have to admit that. You have to concede that, okay? You know, I've seen Team Canada perform a lot better on the world stage in this tournament. They did not look like the Canada we've seen in past years that have been so dominant throughout. See as a highly likely candidate for the medals, guaranteed gold medalist. We didn't see that this time. We got flashes of it, like we saw in the quarterfinals against Germany, and that group game against Switzerland. But, yeah, I mean, the fact that Switzerland nearly bested Canada in the semi-finals, that pretty much says all I need to know. You know, just, yeah, I mean, Desbiens even allowing 5 goals. That's so uncharacteristic of her to let 5 goals in a game in the tournament. Well, that's just, it's just unthinkable. So, yeah, so I think if I was Canada, I seriously would need to go away and rethink. Basically do what we did 4 years ago. Because 4 years ago, the high expectations was the USA could make it back-to-back gold medals. We turned the corner from Pyeongchang, you know. And unfortunately, we did not have a good tournament. And of course, I was not impressed with how the US played in that gold medal match in Beijing. I wasn't. I felt Canada thoroughly deserved that medal in Beijing. So you won't know I was there. And I think what's been brilliant is how since Beijing, US hockey realised, okay, mistakes were made, we need to have a good long hard look in the mirror, make those necessary changes so that we're ready in 4 years' time to go again. And that's exactly what we got. Because obviously, we won the gold medal in the World Championships in 2023 and in 2025. We got close to making it in 2024, but that was an OT loss to Canada in 2024. That was, of course, my first World Championships. Yeah. So I feel like Canada needs to do what we did 4 years ago. Now, it's basically go away, have a long, hard think, look back at what went wrong, work out what could be done to improve, and then maybe we'll see a more stronger Canadian team in France. Will Captain Clutch dare go for a 6 games? Will she do a Sidney Crosby? Who knows? Because she'll be the exact same age that Crosby was for these games when we get to France. Could she pull Crosby? I think she could. She's not going to want that to be her lasting legacy. I think she will probably want to go for one more. I mean, we got something. Would France be Kendall's last one? Because that'd be her 5th next time round. Yeah. So you did have to worry. Oh my God, was Canada about to steal this gold medal from the USA? Were we about to see literally daylight robbery? Were we about to see the heist literally take place? Now, in case you don't know what I'm talking about there, the heist, it ran for 2 seasons on Sky. It was a reality game show in the UK where a group of law-abiding citizens had to rob a bank, and they had to keep hold of their share of the loot without getting caught by the police. And if they did make that for 70 days, then they would keep the money. So, and they had to spend it as well. So I would have been no good on that show, because for me it comes to me, I'm like, save. But no, as part of the rules of the game, you had to spend some of the money. You couldn't basically do what I would do, which would basically take your share, hide it in a garden shed, and not touch it till it comes to point to the laundering bit. You had to spend some of it. So it was a great show, but it only ran for about 2 seasons on Sky. It was basically Sky's attempt to try and rival Hunted, but of course nothing was going to rival Hunted. But yeah, so just in case you don't know what the heist was, that's what it was. Yeah, it ran for 2 seasons in I think it was 2018 or 2019. It might have been late 2018. I can't remember exactly. I know it definitely ran for 2 seasons, but I can't remember when it was on. But anyway, it was on Sky. Yeah. So I think we're going to just finish off by saying how impressive the USA was in this tournament. I mean, Claire Phipps getting a shutout in her lone start, and Frankel picking up 3 shutouts. That is impressive by no means feat there. That is also really impressive, and it's just incredible. I mean, and I really loved seeing the variety in the scoring. It wasn't just all the PHL players, it was also a lot of the college level players who we're about to see make that step up. So Sims, Murphy, Edwards, and of course KK, who is 100% convinced is going to be drafted first overall by the Golden Eyes on June 17. He's absolutely convinced that is what is going to happen. I'm not going to blame him on that. Yeah, so he's just convinced. Yeah, but they played well. The USA played extraordinarily well in this tournament, and it's impressive what they've done. It's so impressive what they've done in those last few weeks. It's incredible. And I think even if I was not with USA, so say if I had been one of the European clubs, I would have gone into this Golden Medal match and still would be thinking, USA, you better win this, because Canada doesn't deserve it. This is one of those very rare times where I felt, well, you know what? One of these 2 sides doesn't deserve it. And normally when we get to this point in the games, I think, well, both these 2 sides, no one has come close to putting a scratch on them. Fine, whoever wins is a worthy champion. This time around, not so much, because Canada had not been the same team that we are used to seeing at these games. So I just feel like Canada, yeah, just not impressive with their performance at all. So we're going to see what's going to happen. I think this is the beauty of the World Championships now being in November. Because it means that in Olympic cycles, we can get a second opportunity to see how as nations that do well in the Olympics, how they then do again in the world. So I think we get to the World Championships in Denmark in November. Canada's going to nation being right. Can you improve on what you did in Milano-Cortina or not? Same for Finland and same for Czechia. Yeah. And also for Switzerland, we will see if they can improve on their brilliant tournaments they had this time around. Yeah. Oh my god, that was a really stressful game. I really do wish that game had been put on the BBC, like properly on the BBC. I think it might have been on iPlayer, so on the Olympics extra feed, which you could get by either iPlayer online or by the red button on your smart tellies. We ended up, of course, watching on TNT because obviously that was our plan going into Milano-Cortina. But I do think it's a real shame that the gold medal game couldn't be put on the BBC, because I felt this match deserved the prime time audience that you can get by putting this game on BBC Two. Tell the colours to go fuck themselves, to fuck off, okay? You've had plenty of coverage already, let someone else have a go. Okay? Because that's what it was. It was basically dominant. When, at the time of that US-Canada game, the BBC would have just laser focused on curling. And it wasn't even a medal match either. I think it might have been either a semi. I think it might have been a semi-final. So I can't remember. My focus was well. Yeah, but I think it's a real shame that this match didn't get to be on BBC Two and got shafted to Olympics Extra for the BBC. Because this game really deserved it. It was a thrilling game to watch, stressful game to watch. But I felt this game deserved the prime time audience that being on BBC Two can give you. So it's a real shame there. But anyway, congratulations obviously to Canada winning silver, but of course, massive congratulations to USA winning gold. What a star tournament it was, eh? What a star tournament it was. And there we go! There we go! We've done it! We've done it. We've made it through. Woo! It's been 3 exhausting episodes to you guys. We're probably going to need to rethink how we do this recap episode for 2030. We'll need to rethink how we do it. Or it's a bit exhausting. Like I said, has tripped me up a few times on the tongue, but yeah, it's all worth it. This is what I love about doing my shows. You get to see the authenticity. So if a mistake happens like that, you guys get to see it. We don't edit things out. We edit things in. You know, because we don't really edit things out. We just keep it nice and authentic for you guys. So yeah, that's what I really love about me. It gives you a USP of other people online that do this sort of thing. Yeah, so it's been a blast. You know, getting to just relive so many wonderful memories. It was just an amazing tournament. You know, I think got to be one of my, did I say favourites? Because obviously, this has been my 5th games now, guys. This has been my 5th Olympics. You know, being involved with the women's tournament. As you guys know, my involvement with women's hockey began with the 2010 games in Vancouver, and since then I've been, you know, and I've been die hard for it, and so obviously, you know, thrilled that we get the PHL, and so honoured to have been part of that since day one. You know, but I think these games have been my favourite of the 5, not just because the PHL exists, and you saw how that had an impact. And we have got an episode coming up about that. So there you go, join me for that. So yeah, so you can go to out where it becomes published. So not just because of that, but also because of how more involved I got. Because the first 4, I just watched them as a support of the games, a support of hockey, support of women's hockey. But with these games, the Milano-Cortina, I've been more active, and that's mainly because of the advocate in me, the women's hockey advocate in me really kicked in. You know? So obviously we did recaps every night. We posted a game recap on my Instagram every night. We did the night caps every night. and I kid you not, every single one of them had at least 2 takes to do. The 3 of us, we just could not record. It was only supposed to take like 2 or 3 minutes each, but we could not record any of those in one single take. It was, yes, it was literally as we were about to go to bed, but we just could not get a single one of them done in just like a single take. It was just, but yeah, so I kind of felt I've been more engaged this time round, but that's mainly because the advocacy in me has also been in high gear as well. So it's been definitely one of my favourite tournaments to have been involved with. And we'll see if that stands, because obviously, going forward now, the PHL is going to be involved in the Olympics, which is great. So we'll see if the other tournaments in the future will be able to match that or even go further. Yeah. But for now, at least, I will say that Milano-Cortina has been the favourite of the 5 that I've been involved. And we'll see what happens. We'll see how we go forward, if that changes or not. No. Like I say, it's been lovely to recap this with you guys. It's been lovely to recap the whole tournament. Still lots of more Olympic Hockey Show content to come. Yeah, still got loads more to do. I've still got to do my report cards on all 10 teams. Gonna be doing that over the summer, so yeah, really excited. Just still lots to come. Yeah, so it's been wonderful to recap the tournament. Thank you guys as always, and until the next time, guys, stay tuned.